Hi, welcome to Ranging Country. I'm Lawrence.
And I'm Peter.
And we're here today to answer the question of, I've got sub 600 quid. What would be the benchmark traditional style rifle that I can get for that? So let's give it a go. Let's get into it. So today, as I'm sure you'll have seen in the title, we've got the Reximex Pretensis, but it's the new one. It's the regulated version. So they've been out for a number of years, the Reximex Pretensis, a sort of traditional looking rifle from the Turkish manufacturer. And they've just released it with a regulator built in. So we're going to go through, we're going to test it, we're going to see how it shoots, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and go from there.
Certainly are.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's go for it. Okay, so features then. Our first little section. Obviously, we've got quite a few features on the rifle. Do you want to start at that end?
Certainly will. Now, this end we have, on the synthetic, obviously we have the walnut here. On the synthetic, we have a no-tool adjustment butt pad and cheek piece. So when I say no-tool adjustment...
You won't be able to work it.
Very good. Nice one. So all you do is press that little button in there and this cheek piece will raise or lower. So there we go. And all you do, put it back, press that in again. There we go, nice and stiff because it's new. And also on the cheek piece. There we go, lift it up a little bit. Perfect.
What would you use that for?
Right, now the adjustable butt plate, sometimes, I mean everybody's different, aren't they? The butt plate and the cheek piece. Sometimes you struggle to get your eye in the centre of the scope. And if you do get your eye in the centre of the scope, you struggle to get it on a second time. When you take your head away, it comes back to a different place. So these two help you try to ensure that your eye goes back to the same place every time.
Yeah, it'll make you as comfortable as possible so you can get into exactly the same space.
So you can have a look, you've got a bunny, bang on, your eye's dead in the centre there, and you can look away and you're not losing your sight picture, you're not losing the centre of the... Whereas if it's the scope's too low, you know, you're up here and you go, trying to push yourself down, uncomfortable, not easy. It's trying to make your shooting as
comfortable and easy as possible
and regular. Yeah. So every time you go to it, it's in the same place.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different shaped body. Their head, their eyes,
everything.
Everything's different. So you can adjust it to yourself.
Yep. So we'll say the synthetic one obviously comes with the adjustable butt plate and the stock, whereas the walnut at the bottom there only comes with the adjustable cheek piece.
But you do need a tool for that.
Yes.
So, little Allen key. But still a lovely feature on a gun of this sort of budget.
Yeah. As we say, sub 600 quid, sort of starter rifle, traditional style looking thing. Yeah, it's very well equipped. Moving forward, safety.
We have the traditional, the popular crossbolt safety there. So what it does is just blocks the trigger. Safety on, trigger can't be pulled. Trigger off, trigger can be pulled. While we're talking about trigger, we've got an adjustable trigger here as well. Now that trigger blade is adjustable up and down, and for the angle. You can make that fit to exactly where your finger falls in that trigger guard, which...
Again, aiding comfort and consistency.
And we're talking sub 600 again. I don't know how many other rifles would have that.
It used to be, I remember even on the Daystate Pulsar, 2016, 2015, the first one of those that came out, the black synthetic, just had a standard trigger, just a standard blade. And it was an optional extra to go up to the match grade, the match style one with the adjustability.
Yeah, you're right. Then.
And now that's as standard on a Reximex.
On a sub 600, yeah. Now, when you're talking sub £600, is there an Air Arms sub £600?
Not currently.
No. So an Air Arms S400 basic beach stock.
Plus 600, 650, 700, something like that.
Okay.
No adjustable stock, no magazine,
No regulator,
bolt action,
no power adjuster.
no screw thread.
They haven't got the shock counter this either.
And don't have the... We're just rattling off the features before we've actually explained them. Doesn't have the sling studs. Doesn't have the dual rail. We'll get to more of this in a sec. Yeah. You get a lot of toys on the Reximex for the money.
You certainly do. Yeah, you do. They're a Turkish brand, and I mean, one thing Turkey's famous for is its walnut stock, which you get. Did you say 20 quid extra for the walnut?
I think the difference is 20 quid between the walnut and the synthetic. Obviously, the walnut's more.
That's unheard of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in other manufacturers. But you notice it's smooth, it's slick, it's a nice touch.
Yeah. It's not sharp. It doesn't feel cheap like some of the synthetics can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stock is very, very nice, and the whole thing is put together very well.
Even when we're talking about other manufacturers, Air Arms don't do synthetic stock, do they?
No, they don't.
Byrock do in the 100.
Yes.
And the ones that we've had have been a little bit rough around the edges, haven't they?
Yeah. I can't remember the last time, because most people go for the walnut.
Yeah, they do.
But yes.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, back on track.
Yes.
Safety, side lever. Side lever is really, really smooth. I think we mentioned that, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. Very, very smooth. And
easy to use. You don't have the up action and all the way back like you would with a bolt. So yeah, at this price range, it nice.
One thing we noticed on the range, because we have bolt action guns, aren't we, on the range, which we're just going to be upgrading this year. A lot of people struggle to get that bolt back to make it click.
Yeah.
To cock the gun. And what they end up doing is double loading, because they think it's clicked, so they think it's cocked, push forward, index to pellet, and it hasn't. So they do it again, 2 pellets in the action. If they do it a third, it is not shooting that out, is it? Yeah. So the side lever cuts all that out. So juniors, ladies, gentlemen who, elderly gentlemen, sort of like myself onwards.
Well, it makes it easier for everyone, doesn't it?
It does.
Is the easiest way of saying
That's
that without offending people.
Yeah, yeah. No, positive. I mean, I love it. I love a side lever compared to a bolt. It's modern, isn't it?
Yeah.
It certainly is. Now, you said dual rail. What do you mean dual rail?
So, Reximex and Kral, certainly as far as I'm aware, are the only ones, touch wood, certainly the only ones that I can think of that do. So, on the top here, we've got the scope rail. Currently, we're using 9 to 11mm mounts on it. I'll try and show off on the camera. I don't think it'll show. We'll have to get a still. It's got 9 to 11mm rail, and it's also got a Weaver rail. Both the same. So normally you just have your Weaver top rail for tactical rifles, that sort of thing. You would have it great for adding night vision straight on, something like that. But this has both.
Simple.
Yeah. It's Weaver and it's 9 to 11. So
simple but effective.
No matter which mount you've got, which scope you've got, it'll go on.
Yeah. That is... I don't know why other people don't do that. It's not much of an addition, is it?
No.
I like it. I do like that. Makes it a lot more versatile.
Mm-hmm.
A little power adjuster here as well.
Yep.
We've only shot it on high power.
And I think that's probably what most people will do.
Yeah, but there's quite a few settings on there.
Yeah.
And with that being there, I am guessing that all that does is block off the transfer port. So it just reduces the amount of air coming up from the back end of the regulator to behind your pellet.
Yeah. That is, it's in stages, very small, tiny little clicks. So it's not, so you know exactly which spot you're at.
Yeah.
It's not like on the Kral MPO2s, which are smooth all the way
A
around.
rotary, yeah.
Yeah.
This has got little idents, isn't it? So you can
Yeah.
count them down.
Yeah.
Count them up or count them down.
Yeah. Much better than it being smooth.
Yeah. So what does a regulator do?
So a regulator is a little device in this particular rifle. It's about yay big. Drops in there. You can see two little join lines here where it's been screwed in. And what that does, it meters the amount of air for every single shot that comes from the cylinder that goes out the business end of the rifle. It's a set pressure, shouldn't change, and you can see that from the gauge on the side here. Your main cylinder pressure is on the end here. You can't see it just yet. We'll get to that in a sec. So that's your main cylinder pressure for here. Your reg pressure is on the gauge here, and the reg is in there. So in theory, every single shot should be exactly the same coming out. Now, obviously, that can only happen when you've got more pressure in the cylinder than you have in the reg. So as long as your cylinder is above the 100 and something bar,
It's about 100 on this one.
about 100 bar that the regulator set out, then your regulator should be doing its job. You should be getting nice consistent shots.
Yeah. Now, when your cylinder pressure falls below the regulator pressure, that's what they call falling off the regulator. So the regulator cannot give 100 bar because there isn't 100 bar available. So that's what that refers to, and your shots are likely to become irregular.
Yeah, within 5 shots, you'll go from being bang on to being 6 foot below. It'll be that much of a difference. It's a bit hyperbole.
I was going to say, is that what you've experienced?
Yeah. It'll be that bad.
You'll notice. You go, what's going wrong? Then you're out of air, basically. So, moving forward towards your end of the rifle.
Yep. So we'll
got a sling stud in there. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, got another little hole there.
Yeah. Anyway, so on the end here we've got a fill probe style filler port. So little probe pushes into there, nice and easy. That's because there's a gauge on the end of these of them now. So as I say, when I mentioned about the regulator, got a gauge on the end. It's nicely color coded. White is too low, red is too high, green is bang on.
I like that, especially at my time of life and my eyesight. Color coding is awesome.
Quickly see that there's enough air in it from a glance, which is very, very handy.
Yeah, definitely. We've
also got on the end here a very sexy looking muzzle brake barrel finisher.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very smart. It's anodized black, but you've got a lovely silver center to it, and that center core goes all the way through it as well, which is very, very nice. Which is hiding a 1/2-inch UNF thread. So,
let's bring up, now you've shown that muzzle brake, sub £600 we're talking still for this rifle, aren't we?
There's a lot of engineering gone into that. I'll show that to the top camera. A lot of engineering gone into that.
So simple, but great value, and it looks really nice as well on the end of that rifle.
Just finishes it off nicely.
Yeah. So we mentioned this. That there's a stud there.
Yep.
Does it come with a little pick rail?
That is definitely a question that I'm going to answer at some point that isn't now.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay.
We have got a sling stud at the back. You didn't mention.
We certainly do.
So you can put a sling on it, or you can put a bipod on it.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed, or I've experienced with these, if you want to take the stock off these, you have to take the safety out, which is a little bit of a pain in the bum. Unscrew it, take it apart, and then you can drop the stock off. But remember, you've got to put it back.
But in theory,
just something to remember. Yeah.
In theory, there's nothing to take.
Yeah.
Nothing to take apart for.
Yeah. Unless you get it wet, you're out shooting, you're out rabbiting, get caught in a shower, and it gets wet. I'd always take it out of stock, give it a wipe down with a dry cloth, just keep it in the house where get some air around it. Same with the stock, especially with the walnut stock, wood stock. Let it air, dry it off. A little bit of oil if you want, but remember, not near pneumatics.
Okay.
What else have we got? Now, one thing I'm very impressed with on this is the magazines. Now, in the early days, these were quite basic, weren't they? Quite cheap, quite thrown together, quite an afterthought.
Yeah, and we had quite a few issues with them. Little niggling little problems, faceplates being cracked and not going into the rifles. But
this feels a much better quality item.
I mean, they are fully plastic, so they're not expensive. But yes, it feels much more solid than they used to. You've got a new reworked inner cassette.
And they're marked up in numbers, aren't they?
Yep.
Up to 12 in 2.2 and what are they, 177? 14. So they're just nice. They're just a nicely engineered bit of kit. You get two of them. Sub 600 quid, 2 mags. They're not expensive mags, but
it's nice to see.
It is, yeah. Easy to load. Now these you don't have to, in the old days, one in from the back and then turn it over. These all go in from the front. If you are careful, it will pop straight through there, so just put your finger there.
Bit of a double entendre
there.
Moving on.
Nice. Yeah. Well thought out again.
Yep. And there's such a simple thing as a little cutout there, a little ball bearing poking up through the action, so that when you cock the rifle and you drop him in, goes in from this side. I'm having to do it by feel. It locks in.
It's nice.
There's a nice little click.
Yeah, it's nice. Do you know another thing I like about these magazines? Don't know if you can see, and that there is a little yellow piece of plastic. It blocks the pellet probe when your mag's empty. So you're not closing the bolt, taking aim, fire, and empty.
Puff of air.
Yeah.
Rabbit runs off.
Yeah. Or your best shot of the day on your target is a blank.
Yeah.
Which we've all had that, haven't we? It's always the best shot. Certainly is, yeah. Just a little thing I thought about. Again, sub 600. I keep rattling on about this, but I think that's important.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Shall we have a little break, a little reset? I will find out whether it comes with the Weaver rail, and we will go into handling.
Let's do it.
Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so handling then. Short answer is yes, it does come with a Weaver rail. It does in the synthetic and the wood, and it has the same screw-in slot for both of them.
Let's have a look then.
As if by magic, we have a little box, Reximex branded, very, very smart, in each of the gun boxes, and you get your little Weaver rail section.
You get a screw.
You get a little bolt.
Okay.
A round key-headed bolt.
Very handy, but nice not to have it fitted permanently. But it's enough to, if you want to have it on.
Yeah.
Is that a single shot tray I see there?
We've got a little single shot tray.
Sub 600 quid in single shot tray?
Yeah, I mean, it's only a solid one-piece plastic thing, but it's a single shot tray.
It's there, isn't it? Yeah.
We've also got 5 Allen keys. Looks like 1.5 mil, 2 mil, 2.5, 3, 3 and 4, something like that. You've got 5 little Allen keys with it. You've got a small set of O-rings with it. In fact, let me put it there. Got a small set of O-rings with it. 2 of those will be
fill probe.
Yes, and 2 will be breech seal.
Yeah.
One would be 177 and a 2.2 breech seal.
Yeah.
I would think. And you've also got these little brass things. What are these? Really thin.
Now those are burst discs.
Brass disc.
Yeah. So a burst. I think we've talked about burst discs on. Was it the Corolla Reximex video before? And they are an overpressure device. So they will be under here, under the stock somewhere, which you don't really need to worry about them unless they burst. Yeah. Now, when are they going to burst? if you overpressurize your cylinder, if you try to put more than the recommended the maximum 250 bar in, then they can rupture.
And it'll start leaking.
Yeah, and you'll say, I've got a leak. We've had it time and time again. People have brought the rifle in, the rifle's leaking. You know, it's no good, it's leaking. It shouldn't do. Took the stock off, burst discs leaking. So they've overfilled it. Simples. But yeah. So you never need to worry about that unless you overfill it. And in which case you probably want to take your burst disc into your gunsmith and say, can you change this burst disc for me? And don't overfill it in future. Simple.
Yeah.
But if you do wonder what they are and say, oh, they're little cutouts of metal, they are actually burst discs. So, yeah, simple explanation.
Yep.
Anything else in the box?
A sheet of a test sheet from the importers saying
what
power
does it? I mean, what's that? 11.
11.3.
11.3. And we found this to be about 11.26, something like that, didn't we, on testing?
Yeah.
On chronoing. So it's about right. Dependent on pellets that you use, obviously.
Yep.
We were using GSP, Jumbo. Exact, yeah.
And that's what we'll be using to shoot with it in a sec as well.
Yeah. Those, laser guided ones, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, so numbers then. We've talked about the thread and the stock is all very nice. In terms of overall length, it's 109 centimeters, about 43 inches. So it's a traditional style rifle. It's a standard length rifle. Yep. It's not particularly short, not particularly long. Yep.
Got a good size cylinder on it, allowing for that fairly good shot count, isn't it? 100. Yep. I tested this as 2.2. I tested this one down to 170 full power shots.
From 200 bar. 200 bar. Though.
200 bar.
It will fill to 250. I don't think we've got 250 in the cylinder.
We don't. It's just a personal preference. I like to fill to 200. 250 bars a lot of pressure. 200 bars a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. We like to fill to 200. 170 clean shots and a sub 600 pound regulated rifle. Who can compare to that?
Yep, 100%. In terms of weight, WEIGHT, don't do that to me again because
that was
my joke.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
3.7 kilos in the synthetic one with the stock on, with the scope on. 3.1 kilos is the wood one with no scope. So yeah, it's about half a kilo scope. So yeah, again, it's not particularly light rifle, but it's not heavy either. It's a traditional rifle. It's midweight rifle.
Just fondling it, just having a feel. You know, you can feel when you pick up a rifle and you feel the stock, you feel the finish, don't you? And some of the early Turkish stuff was a little bit coarse.
Yeah, a bit coarse and a bit sharp. The stippling was a bit sharp.
This isn't. This is smooth. This is nice. Again, sub 600 pound and a walnut regulated rifle.
Yeah.
And it's a nice bit of walnut as well. You know, you have got a bit of tiger stripe in there. Don't know if the camera will pick that up. Nice bit of wood as well. Yeah, it's great value for money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, shall we go into? Should we have a go at shooting it?
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do.
It's cold.
Chuck the heater on.
I need to.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's give it a go.
Okay.
Okay, here we are, ready to shoot the Pretensis Regulated. We've got a Hawk Vantage wide angle on it. Vantage wide angle 30mm. Let's give it a go.
Let's see how we can perform.
As we discovered in the Christmas shoot-off, you're clearly the better shot than I am, so you're having to zero all the guns now.
I had a little bit more luck on the day, I think, is the way to phrase that.
Well, all the comments said that you were putting me off. So
Is that right? They all felt sorry for you.
I'll
did they?
take that. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a go at this. Oh, glasses off, remember. Okay. Let's get comfortable. Which target shall I go for? Right hand side. Okay.
We were a little strapped for time this morning, so we've zeroed it roughly. We haven't had a chance to normally we put a couple fills through the rifle before we shoot it. But this will show how accurate it is.
Or how accurate
You can make it.
I am. Yeah, I can make it.
Well, those last two are through the same hole.
I did have that.
Those last three were sit through the same
On
hole.
zeroing, actually. I was like, where's that shot gone? And then my third shot confirmed where that second shot had gone. Oh, slow down.
He had three through the same hole, and then he's off wandering. It's hubris, I think it's called.
Or shaking with a cold.
Yeah, shaking with the cold.
That's another excuse I can add now.
It is
For
the
these-
height of summer while we're recording this. It's 30 degrees.
For these winter months. I always feel a bit blurred this morning, struggling to focus, don't know why. Early mornings, late nights. Oh, take your time.
Making a nice little fancy pattern.
Yeah. Trying to cut the centre out the target. So, Magful, how did we
And the
do?
last shot. Well, you put three through the same hole
Yeah.
twice, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then you must have been adjusting your grip each time, or parallax error or something, because your group started wandering.
Yeah. I think, I mean, it shows the gun is perfectly capable.
Yeah. It was banging through the same hole.
Yeah.
It's-
Probably shows that I'm a bit less capable than
Maybe the comments were right then.
they could have been. Yeah. I'm happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone showed us that target, but then you could see it happening in real time,
Yeah.
there's a difference of
Yeah.
what's going
I think
on.
that last shot was through the bullseye, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Finish on a high.
Yeah.
But no, I'm at 25 yards. It is cold. It is fairly early in the morning. It is.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Any other excuses?
Uh,
Just don't feel like it just because it's a...
it's Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
fair enough. Okay, let's have a little reset and we'll jump into the conclusion.
Excellent.
Okay, so we've seen the shooting one. In conclusion then, what do we think? I mean, you've obviously been hammering on the fact that it's sub 600 quid and all the features that it comes with and all this and all that. What do you think?
Surprising. I think it's
In a good way.
probably one of the best. Yeah. You expect under 600 quid. Do you expect same hole groups? I mean, I obviously didn't. All my 12 weren't in the same hole, but they were very, very close, and it certainly did it. It's doing 3, 4, 5 are through the same hole.
Yeah.
In zeroing.
The gun would do it. You can't,
Certainly,
but the
yeah.
gun would do it.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, definitely. Quality, nice and well finished, nicely machined, no rough edges on the stock.
Now, we've been accused of being biased before because obviously we run the shop, and we
have.
We
Which is a
don't
bit unfair. It's a lot unfair, I think.
we don't hide that. Obviously, it's the same brand name as the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Well, we can't. We're not biased, but we are. We're going to be biased towards the ones that give us the least hassle.
One thing I think, Lauren, probably to sum it up, when we first set this shop up 10.5 years ago, coming on 11 years, I said to Lawrence, I want us to run this shop and treat people like we would want to be treated ourselves when we go into a gun shop. Because we were shooters before we set this up, weren't we?
Yeah.
And, you know, you get a mixed reaction in a shop, don't you? It's like a lot of the time they want you to have the product, bugger off out the shop, not see you again, not hear about any complaints that you've got.
A bit like car salesmen.
Take your money and don't want to know.
Yeah, a lot like car salesmen.
We wanted to be different because we've been on the receiving end of this, and that was our mantra, really.
Yeah. So while we're not biased, we are biased towards the guns that are
good,
cause us less hassle, cause you guys less hassle. You don't want to be without your rifle, your fairly chunky investment that you just put in. You don't want to be without it. And if we've got two guns at the same cost, and one makes us 30 quid more money each time we sell it, but the other one we know we're not going to get back, we're going to push the one that we don't have to get back. Because
it's customer satisfaction as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
We also have a large, we've got a 32-lane airgun range. And obviously we sell guns, people shoot them down on the range, and you know, it does no good whatsoever if somebody's having problem after problem with a rifle, would it?
No.
On our range. When people say, you know, big smile on the face, they've got a brilliant target, it gives us that little warm, fuzzy feeling inside, doesn't it?
100%.
You know, somebody's happy, somebody's enjoying the sport, and we've helped facilitate that.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, it is a business, but it's we like to build it through honesty. And, just going off the subject a little bit.
Well, while we're not biased, while we are biased, I guess we're not at all.
Yeah. If it's good, we're going to tell you it's good, and we're going to sell you it.
Yeah.
If it's crap,
obviously, if
we're going to tell you.
If we're doing a review on a brand new gun that's only just come out, we are likely going to say it at face value.
Yeah. As it is, tell it as it is.
If it looks good and it works well on the day, then we're going to say it's good. But if in 6 months' time it turns out that they had a problem with this particular thing this whole time, we're going to tell you that if you ring us up. Yeah,
we're going to update it, aren't we? Yeah. So just a little bit about us. Yeah. But can't fault it. Really cannot fault it. Little things like the dual rail.
Yeah. That makes life so much easier. Well, our end and your end means you've got more choice of mounts. You can chuck your night vision on it, or you can chuck your 9 to 11mm that you got on from your previous gun.
Yeah, definitely. And magazines, you know, last shot, bolt won't close. Brilliant. Yeah, nothing much really more to say about it. Get your hands on one. You know. See what you think. See if you think we're right on our synopsis of it. And yeah,
perfect. Well,
brilliant.
Thank you very much for watching.
Easy for you to say.
It wasn't. We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe.
Whichever corner it's in.
Whichever, yeah. I don't know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.